You know what? No intro. Let's get to it.
Yeah. Woohoo! This is tough. We are in it for a week. Yes. Can't get any better.
Hello, welcome to Hawks Recap. Game 77 has just concluded, and the Blackhawks have lost in a shootout to the San Jose Sharks. Final score of 4-3 in a game that really, in the grand scheme of things, doesn't really mean a whole lot. However, something just happened recently that kind of does mean a whole lot, and that's the Blackhawks securing their top prospect, Dylan Sikura, to an entry-level deal. He will be in the lineup for the next game. Pretty exciting stuff, and pretty much makes up for the loss tonight. But that wasn't the only news. The Blackhawks also signed 2015 draft pick Joni Tulola. I believe that's how you pronounce it. He'll be reporting to Rockford. And then also Edsel, who we got in return for sending Hartman to the Predators, made his NHL debut with us tonight. And to be honest, I was quite pleased with him. Get this for your NHL debut. You're a center on the top line, winged by Brandon Saad and Patrick Kane. Not too shabby. However, he loses the opening draw. Forget what I just said, cut him. But for Rizzo, the Blackhawks pretty much outplayed the Sharks in the first period. Now, the Sharks still had their chances, and of course, they're a good enough team that their chances are very dangerous when they get them. They're the type of team that really likes redirecting the puck a lot. They like to get bodies in front, and even if they have a clean shot from the point, they're looking for a stick to redirect or looking for a shot pass to get a different angle on net. They're trying to kind of misdirect you a lot, and they're very successful at it. In a sense, they're really good at making something from nothing. And that's what kind of happens on the Sharks' first goal of this game, a little over 9 minutes into the first period. Blackhawks control and play, but the Sharks gain possession in the neutral zone, and Hansen just takes the puck and weaves kind of in and out between a couple Blackhawks defenders, takes it into the offensive zone wide, goes below the goal line, then slips the puck out towards the front of the crease area. Sorensen gets there. Etchel doesn't take his stick away, and Sorensen puts the puck underneath Forsberg's pads into the back of the net, and it's 1-0 Sharks just like that, just kind of out of thin air. Then with a little under 7 minutes left to go in the first period, the Hawks go to the power play, but their atrocious power play is no match for the league's top-rated penalty kill unit in the San Jose Sharks. But somehow, someway, the Blackhawks gain momentum from not scoring and doing really anything on their own power play. 4.5 minutes left to go in the first period. The Sharks turn the puck over in the offensive zone. DeBrincat picks it up, starts the rush with a nice little stretch pass up to Saad at the far blue line. Saad would then take it in, drop it to Hinostroza, who rips a shot right at Jones's shoulder. It bounces off, and DeBrincat, hustling all the way down, rushes towards the net, picks up that rebound, and swats it into the back of the net, and we have a tie ball game. A little over a minute after that, the Hawks playing with confidence, putting pressure on the Sharks. They get the puck in the offensive zone on a rush. The loose puck kind of finds its way back to Murphy at the point. He just unleashes a nice little snapshot on net. Nice net front presence from Camp. And I don't know how much Martin Jones really saw this puck, but it gets by him. And just like that, the Hawks have scored 2 unanswered and now lead 2-1 going into the second period. The Sharks would push back in the second period. The Hawks would have their chances, and Martin Jones had to make a number of quality saves right on the doorstep. Ruda had a chance. I don't know how that puck didn't go through Jones' 5-hole. It just stuck underneath his pads. But the Sharks had a number of really good looks as well. Forsberg had to stand tall. However, with 3.5 minutes left to go in the second period, Evander Kane on the breakaway is able to kind of just barely sneak it by Forsberg, who got a lot of it, but he kind of just backing into the goal carried the puck with him, and it just squeaked in by him, and we have a tie game going into the third period. Third period was pretty back and forth, but both goaltenders doing a good job keeping this game tied up for the most part. And even though there were 6 goals scored in this game, 7 if you count the shootout tally, I thought both goaltenders played pretty darn well. They made a number of A-quality chance saves in this one. It could have been a lot more goals on that scoreboard. I know we've harped on our goaltending a lot this year, but Forsberg's past 2 games here been pretty darn solid, and we've seen that before from him and even from Berube. It's just the consistency that hasn't been there, and that's what's really been frustrating. But he's shown at times in games like the last game and this game that he can play pretty darn solid. However, he wasn't solid enough. A little over 4 minutes left to go in the game. Connor Murphy with an absolute huge hit in the neutral zone. Very much reminded me of the hit Dave Bolin put on the Red Wings in the 2013 Western Conference quarterfinals. Game 7, overtime, right before Seabrook won it. Pretty much the same spot on the ice and boards, except instead of Seabrook picking up the puck here and scoring, it's Hurdle picking the puck up, taking it in, and just kind of sneaking it by Forsberg and putting the Sharks in front by a score of 3-2 late in this game. Now, the Blackhawks haven't scored a whole lot of clutch goals this year, and so there's not really a whole lot of reason to believe they would in this one. However, they do. Offensive zone pressure, Gustafsson wins a board battle, gets it over to DeBrincat below the goal line. He then has a nice little feed out to Sharp, who's all alone in front. He rips a shot that Martin Jones gets a lot of, but not enough of. The puck trickles on by him into the back of the net, and Sharpie with his 10th goal of the year, a clutch one here, ties the game up at 3 very late in this game. I don't know how many people thought Sharp would have 10 goals this year, but honestly, I'd be all for bringing him back next year if we can re-sign him to a similar type of contract that he had this year. His locker room presence and leadership and mentorship, especially to all our young guys, I feel has been invaluable this year. I mean, we just see it on the ice with the season DeBrincat's having. I would love to have him back if we can afford it. The Blackhawks would almost score again before the game ends. A nice little passing play gets it over to Keith, who has jumped in to the play, and he has a great A opportunity, but I don't know if the puck just hops on him, jumps over his stick or something, but he ends up shooting it way wide. Oh, just such a great chance that just couldn't capitalize on, and this game would go into overtime. And if you want to talk about an entertaining overtime period, this was it. Honestly, Schmaltz, I thought, scored. Then I thought Pavelski scored. Then I thought Patrick Kane scored. Then I thought Evander Kane scored. Nobody would end up scoring, but my goodness, it was back and forth. There's some really good chances, and both goaltenders made some ridiculous saves. Unfortunately, this game would go to a shootout because this game has to end sometime. Sharp would end up scoring in the shootout, but Couture and LeBlanc would score for the Sharks, so they get the 2 points in this game. Like I said earlier, I was pleased with Edsel's debut. I thought he looked pretty darn good. Had a number of great chances, just couldn't bury any of them. Had pretty much instant chemistry with Kane and Saad out there. Forsberg, I thought, had a solid game for a second straight game. And as a whole, I thought the Blackhawks played pretty darn well. Yeah, they still turned the puck over quite a bit in the defensive zone, not being able to get it out. That's something they definitely have to fix for next year. But overall, it was a pretty good game. It was an entertaining game, and they lost in a shootout to a pretty good team in the San Jose Sharks. So, you know, that happens sometimes, especially since the last time these two teams met, San Jose won 7-3. Up next for the Blackhawks, they finish off the season with 5 straight games against Central Division opponents, starting it off at home against the Winnipeg Jets, who have already locked up a spot in the playoffs, so the game's not really going to mean anything. However, it's going to be Dylan Sikura's NHL debut, so best tune in for that. And with that, I say thank you so much for watching this episode of Hawks Recap. I really hope you enjoyed it. Let me know your thoughts on the game and the team's performance down in the comment section below. Also, let me know what your thoughts are on Edsel's debut, as well as how pumped you are to see Sikura on Thursday. Like, share, and subscribe. I appreciate it as always, but most importantly, stay safe, make good decisions, and I'll see you next time.